She called Kelsey a slam pig. Baby, I'd rather be a whore or a bitch any day of the week, but a slam pig? This was such a good episode. Let's get into it. A slam pig!
Welcome to the Asia Esterak Hour, where film meets conspiracy and pop culture gets a reality check. From sharp recaps to sci-fi theories and media deep dives, Asia Esterak serves it unfiltered. Let the binge begin.
All right. Welcome back to the Asia Esterak Hour. I'm Asia Esterak. All right, let's get into it. The Real Housewives of Rhode Island, Season 1, Episode 8. God, this was such a good episode. Okay, so we open with Alicia and Billy. Cute scene. Alicia is scared of bridges. So am I, girl. But that little ass bridge you drove over was not scary. That was kind of funny that you were scared about that. But okay. This scene was quick, but she said some stuff that was interesting, which I felt was foreshadowing for what's to come. So she was telling Billy about everything that happened when they went to Newport to that castle. And she mentioned her and Liz kind of getting into it. Now, she says she didn't like that Liz attacked her about, or not attacked, I'm using the word attack. She didn't like that Liz told her that she wasn't homeless when she was sharing the story about when her father left them. And she did say, I am a little intimidated by her, but it really made me mad that she said that. We see in the mid-season trailer, they're going to get into it again. And they've known each other forever, which is what Billy was telling her. He's like, you've known her since you were born, you know, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, who is the next scene? I think we get to Ashley. Ashley had a little thing with her son, really cute. Ashley was barely in this episode outside of this scene. Real quick, every time she talks about how hot her husband is, they show that terrible photo with the bad chest hair. Pick a different photo, because he is cute. But that chest hair is giving Alec Baldwin, baby. It's giving sweater. I'm still a teenager. I don't mind a hairy chest, but when we're Chaz Palminteri and Alec Baldwin, when we're looking like a fucking chimp, that's a problem. Anyway, it's too much hair. Okay, so we get to Joellen and actually no, we'll do this first. So Joellen, her mom, and her sister, they all go back to her grandfather's house who just passed. This was a good scene because Joellen basically kind of calls her mom out on the way how she felt her mother treated her when she was a kid. Her mother makes a joke about her behavior, and Joellen just kind of went in. I like Joellen a lot. I didn't like what she did with Alicia at the end of the last episode, and I'll get to that after I get to this. But Joellen basically says, what was so bad about me that you kept sending me away? Her mom seemed very caught off guard, but her mother was like, you were doing things that you weren't supposed to be doing. You were hanging out with people you weren't supposed to be hanging out with. And Joellen's like, I was a teenager. That's what teenagers do. And her mom says, basically, I was doing the best that I could. I didn't know how to handle you. So her mother apologized, and then her mother tells her, like, you know, because Joellen mentions that her mom and her grandmother were both not maternal at all. So her mother tells this story about when she was a kid, her mom and dad had surprised them and came home early. She runs up the stairs, hits her head really bad, and was bleeding all over the place. And she said her mom was, like, more concerned about her clean floors than her actual daughter. And basically saying, this is how I parent, because that's the way I was parented. And Joellen's whole thing is, let's break that. Let's break that stigma and let's be maternal. Because she's like, I love my kids more than anything, and I would never treat them that way. Her sister kind of chimed in and was like, you know, we understand that you were doing the best that you could at the time, you know. And Joellen's whole thing is, I want to have a better relationship with you. I want you to have a better relationship with your grandchildren, and I want us to get to know each other better and spend quality time, more than just you watching the kids. I love that because she really is being proactive. She's just not sitting around talking about it. She's really trying to be proactive. This was a good scene. This was a really good scene. So I skipped over this scene because I wanted to save it for right now. So Kelsey, we meet Kelsey at her new apartment that the old guy is paying for, the ex, the old man. So her mom and sister meet her there, and they learn in this scene that he is still paying for the apartment. He's also paying her health insurance and her car insurance. Are you his fucking ex-woman or child? Shit's crazy. So her mom is like, or her sister goes, you don't want to be financially independent? She's like, yeah, someday, but for right now. So in the confessionals, Kelsey's like, what, was I gonna not take his help? Well, yeah. You didn't save a dime while you were with the man? You didn't save any and nothing? Nothing? Kelsey irritates me. You send women back with your just dumbassness. You're just dumb. Imagine being 30 something years old, getting out of a 10-year relationship just to be in the same damn position you were when you met the motherfucker. She's a fucking idiot. And mom, what, really? Really? And she even said that her parents did not approve of her relationship with the ex, with the old guy. They took it. There was nothing they could really do, right? Okay. But here's what's wild too, though. Like, so she also says in the confessionals, I feel like I'm entitled to something because I spent 10 years of my life with this man. You're not, though. You may feel how you want to feel, but you're not entitled to anything that man. The fact that he's even paying for shit, he's cool. I would never do that. That's crazy. And then the fact that you learn that she was fucking with that dude, the other guy, there's a whole lot of Billies on this show. So she was dating the dude, Billy, who ends up showing up to help her put something together. And we learn he's been the side piece to her this whole time. Which makes me wonder, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with your self-esteem that you would wait on her basic ass? Kelsey is irritating. But even her fucking tagline, I was like, I know you are not over here bragging about being a sugar baby when you literally did yourself a huge disservice. You literally have to start all over and you don't have any discernible skills. Girl, everybody in them, you could throw a rock and hit a motherfucker that can do hair and do makeup. You don't stand out. In the words of Tyler Durden, you're not a beautiful and unique snowflake. Anyway, so Alicia and her husband go to dinner at Rula's house. So Rula and her husband, they hire a caterer. They end up going into their like official room. They're like, what is it? They said they only go into that dining room like a few times a year. It was nice. It was nice. The food looked good. Alicia was freaking out because she's like, I don't know how I'm going to say this to Rula. I don't want to upset her. And she's like, it's weird. She's like, I know what you did last week. Talking about, what's his name, Paul? Her husband. So they go to dinner at Rula's house. Everything was cool. We learn in this scene that Rula's husband is not only a podiatrist, he owns this like beauty, whatever, beauty shop, not beauty shop, beauty weight loss, whatever, Botox facility that's in front of the podiatrist business, whatever, which was interesting because Alicia didn't know that. And he was like, yeah, I sell Ozempic. He goes, I microdose Ozempic. I've been doing it for 2 years. I sell steroids. So what does he say? When I need to lose some weight, I take some Ozempic. When I need to gain some muscle, I take some steroids. I was just like, why don't you just fucking work out? That's the problem. That's a whole other video. It's too many remedies for shit that we could just do naturally. But anyway, so the vibe that I get off of Rula and her husband, not even her husband, I'm gonna just talk about Rula. Rula seems like, if I can't see it, then it's not happening. I think she knows deep down her husband is cheating on her, but she doesn't want to come to terms with that. She rather not know the truth. And I think it's interesting that she references to Joellen being negative towards her marriage in her confessionals, but you stood your ass at that horse thing and told her if she had evidence you wanted to see it. So how is she being negative about how is she being negative if you're asking? Here's the thing, Joellen inserted herself too much into your business. That I agree with. I think Joellen, I think I would have stopped after dude called my job. I'd have been like, you know what? You got it. I did too much. If y'all like it, I love it. But I don't know why she feels the need to avenge for Rula. I just find that bizarre. But my thing too is, Rula, Rhode Island is only so big, and it's pretty obvious that everybody knows your husband is cheating on you and you look fucking crazy. So what are you doing? And if I'm Alicia, I'm staying out of it. Joellen, you're the one that brought that shit up to her. You show her the video. Why even put yourself in that position, you know? Because the reality is she's going to get mad at you, Alicia. Let her stay mad at Joellen. Interesting scene. I don't know. I feel like Rula and her husband, I feel like it's a business arrangement. Because I don't get any type of chemistry between them at all. All right. Last scene, best scene. Rosie and Kelsey. So Rosie had a scene earlier with her husband talking about Kelsey and what happened at the castle and them kind of making up. Now, I want to say this. Rosie, I'm going to keep it real with you too, though. You don't like Kelsey either. That whole fake-ass makeup at the castle, that was cute. You obviously didn't feel good and you didn't want to argue with her. Kelsey is jealous of you. She's jealous of your position. I think you guys are around the same age. Totally understand. But Rosie, you ain't feeling her either. Because when you were outside with your husband on those cute little jumpy things, and my feet are too big to fit in, you were sitting there making fun of her situation before you mentioned the fact that you two made up. So your heart wasn't in the right place either. But Kelsey has not liked you from jump. And it seems like she doesn't really want to get to like you. I think she's just saving face because she got cameras in her face. Because even her energy at the castle on the last episode, when she's like, I want to get to know you. I want to get to know you better. Her whole energy and tone, I was like, she don't fucking like you. She doesn't want to get to know you. She probably wants to be cool with you to see what you're into. Because it's giving, I want your life. Single white female, that's what it's giving. So anyway, Kelsey's driving up to Rosie's house and she's like, I want to make a joke about her square footage. And back in the house, Rosie's on the phone with her husband talking about how Kelsey's coming over. Because she had said Kelsey was going to come over. She's going to let her cut her hair and whatever. And she's like, I just have the plans to the house, laid out, the blueprints, just in case she needs to see it. So again, Rosie, you weren't coming right either. I get it, but come on. So Kelsey rolls up, turning on these sirens, being loud as hell, talking into a speaker through her car, talking about, this is the house police. We're here to make sure it's 8,000 square feet and not 8,000 inches. This how slow her stupid ass is. She thought this was a good idea. She actually thought that was a good idea. Okay, girl. Rosie's in the house like, the fuck? And her dog Clemmy, which, by the way, Rosie, please stop putting clothes. People, stop putting clothes on your fucking animals, especially dogs. That shit got on my nerves. She put her in some stupid ass outfit where she rolled around and shit in. That was earlier in the episode. I skipped the scene. Anyway, so Rosie's in the house hearing this like noise. So she goes outside like, what the fuck? So she sees Kelsey pull in and she's still talking on the loudspeaker. And Rosie's like, what the fuck is she doing? So she pulls up and parks and she's like, oh, I was just doing it as a joke. And Rosie's like, what? So they go in the house. Kelsey brings her, her bag of goodies, I guess all her hair stuff. And Kelsey's like, what was that about? Or not Kelsey, I'm sorry. Rosie's like, what was all of that about? And Kelsey, oh, I was just playing around with you, about the square footage of your house. I was just making a joke out of it. And Rosie's like, and she goes, why are you obsessed with the square footage of my house? So this whole argument starts again. And Kelsey's like, I was just doing it as a joke. Like, I was just joking around. And Rosie's like, but it's not funny. That's not funny to joke about. How is that funny? And I agree. How is it funny? She's like, you're over here with this loud siren in my neighborhood. And then we find out in the confessionals that they have like a sound ordinance where she lives. So that they're not supposed to be doing that. So she was mad about that too. So Kelsey's trying to sell that this was a joke. Girl, Rosie goes, so where's your house? My name is on the deed. Where's your house, Kelsey? And she goes, what is your problem with me? You have like this obsession with me. And Kelsey's like, what is your problem? So they're going back and forth. And Kelsey is trying to sell the fact that she's not jealous and that she was just making a joke. And why is Rosie making a big deal out of it? Girl, let me tell you something. Rosie came out her fucking face and I was here for it. I gotta stop cursing so much because I'm monetized now. Rosie was like, get the fuck out. Get out of my house. You don't have shit. She goes, what do you have? You don't have shit. She goes, you don't have a house, a husband. You don't have anything. So they're going back and forth. It's kind of starts getting a little physical because Kelsey's trying to talk shit. I love how you're going to talk shit in somebody else's house when you don't have a leg to stand on, literally. It was just a joke. You're making this bigger than what it has to be. Rosie's like, no, get out. Here, I'm going to help you get out. So she's grabbing Kelsey's, she's grabbing it up. She's grabbing up the, like, makeup bag hair thing, and she's trying to pull it down the stairs. And Kelsey's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm helping you get the fuck out of my house. Get out. So Kelsey's talking shit, and so Rosie is like, she goes, you're full of shit. She goes, you dated this old man for money, and everybody knows that he paid for you to be Miss Rhode Island. He paid off the judges, and you're a fucking slam pig. Everybody knows that you're sleeping with married men all around Rhode Island. You're a fucking slam pig. You're a slam pig. I never heard slam pig, but that shit had me rolling. You're a slam pig. So they're downstairs yelling at each other. This is how slow Kelsey's ass is. So Rosie's like, get out! Get the fuck out! She pushes her out the door. Kelsey goes to come back. Rosie pushes her again and shuts the door. You could tell the producer came in and grabbed Kelsey. No, tell her to get the fuck out of my house! So Kelsey's slow ass goes to her truck and then comes back and stands at the doorway. This is what killed me. This is how I knew this bitch is just ridiculous. She says, no one paid off the judges. I won Miss Rhode Island fair and square. She said something like that. So you want to make sure you clear that up, but you didn't want to clear up the fact that she said everybody in Rhode Island knows you're sleeping with married men? Kelsey, you stupid. Anyway, this was a good episode. Like, share, subscribe, hype up this video, stay hydrated, be nice to each other, and I'm going to go return these video tapes. Kelsey dumb.